The Qur'an is a book made up of chapters that are made up of verses. Chapters range in size from hundreds of verses down to just 3. In this episode, I aim to put into perspective just how much attention the Qur'an is given worldwide. As you may know, one of the obligations of a Muslim is to pray 5 times a day. Every prayer is split into units, and the 5 daily prayers make up a total of 17 units. In each unit, the Muslim must recite chapter 1 of the Qur'an, or else the prayer is not valid. This makes it a requirement for every Muslim to have memorized chapter 1 of the Qur'an. Since there are about 2 billion Muslims worldwide, just from the 5 daily prayers, this chapter is recited 34 billion times every single day. In 10 of these 17 units, Muslims also recite another part of the Qur'an of their choice. Doing the maths, this means that other verses are recited an additional 20 billion times around the world every single day just from the 5 daily prayers. A relationship with the Qur'an is a major part of being a Muslim. Whether Arabic speaking or not, every single Muslim has some verses stored in memory.
Look around this room right here. Now, I don't know most of these people. Some of them know me from TV or something like that, but they don't really know me. But if I open this book on any page and I start quoting out of this thing, believe it or not, they will know if I'm making mistakes. This is the first page. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Next words. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. I'm going to go to the back. Qul huwa Allah. Allah. Lam wa lam. How about the middle? Inadina. How about that? That's chapter 3, verse 19, by the way. Kuntin khayra ummatin.
Ever since the Qur'an was revealed 1,400 years ago, not even a letter has changed. Generation after generation, the Qur'an has been preserved and passed down in human memory and written form. This makes the Qur'an incredibly unique and unlike any other book. No other book has been preserved through memory over many generations. And what's amazing is that Allah said this would happen from day 1 in chapter 15, verse 9. Inna nahnu nazzalna dhikra wa inna lahu lahafidhun. Indeed, it is we who sent down the Qur'an, and indeed we will guard it from corruption. There has not been a single generation since the time the Qur'an was revealed, except that there were memorizers of the entire book. Today, more than 100 million Muslims are memorizers of all 600 pages of the Qur'an worldwide. And typically, much of the memorizers are completely unfamiliar with the Arabic language.
Can you memorize 1 page in a language you don't understand? If I were to give you, if you don't speak Japanese, I gave you a page of Japanese. Could you memorize that page in 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 50 minutes? How about memorizing 600 pages in a language you don't even understand, without a single mistake? Haraka, sukoon, word for word, letter for letter.
Allah has made the memorization of the Qur'an easy, and indeed, this is one of the many miracles of the Qur'an. In fact, no other religious tradition memorizes its book or scriptures in its totality.
It was a program for 2 months. A 2-month program.
2 months.
To memorize it, yeah. And you memorize 10 pages a day. And they produced thousands and thousands of files. I think it was between like 20 to 30,000 files through these programs. You know, it was hard in the beginning. So in the beginning, I remember I memorized like 4 pages the entire day. It was difficult, but then it's amazing. By the end of the 2 months, we were like, or myself, I was memorizing like a juz'u a day.
There are many other ways the Qur'an is given attention on a daily basis. It is an important part of being a Muslim to maintain a healthy relationship with the Qur'an, so as a result, Muslims read it frequently. Additionally, millions of Muslims pray extra voluntary units of prayer throughout the day. After all, it is a source of blessing and tranquility. Every day, Muslims and non-Muslims listen to Qur'an recitations by famous reciters due to its great impact on the heart. This was covered in episode 1. And every year, many millions more make it a point to read the whole Qur'an in the holy month of Ramadan. The amazing part is that once Muslims read the Qur'an, they go right back to the start and read it again and again, year in, year out, and it never gets boring. Could you imagine yourself reading your favourite book over and over, never mind twice in the same year? Think about this. Around the entire world, there is not a single point in the day that the Qur'an is not being recited, whether in prayer or not. What book comes close to that? Muslims can proudly and confidently say that the Qur'an is a miracle and the truth. It is like no other book and is by far the most popular text of all time. If you are a Muslim and have noticed you don't read the Qur'an enough, try and read even just one verse every day, or listen to just a minute of a recitation before you sleep. Be consistent and it will change your life. If you are a non-Muslim, listen to the Qur'an and discover more about it. You might be pleasantly surprised.